Hello. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Sunday. I want to touch on this video about the game losing his royalties, his record label, and what else? And his album, Born to Rap, to this lady. Her name is, I think, Priscilla Rainey. I wanted to touch on that topic because, there's a lot of women that's thirsting for game. Like the rapper, the game. There's a lot of women that's like, would love to be with him. And also he has the kids, his kid's mother, that was on his, I think they was on the show. He had a show before, but this particular show where he had women on the show, and one of the women sued him because I think she said he groped her or touched her private area somewhere, and she wasn't really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And I looked up to find out about the situation, learn a little bit about the situation, and understand that the female is a realtor. She's a realtor and an entrepreneur. So she was striving, for successful businesses, basically, because I'm a realtor, you know what I'm saying? And I understand. And as realtors, licensed real estate agents and brokers, we study law, laws and stuff like that, and different things that we can do and that we can't do. So she wasn't no dummy on the show. She was actually somebody with a head on her shoulder and with some knowledge of law behind her, I would say. So let's get into it. I'm gonna stick to my notes. I don't have really much to say on elaborate on it, because I don't want to dig too deep. I don't want to say too much or anything like that. But one thing that I can say is that Game is not somebody that can't get a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's women out here that's thirsting over him. That's one of the main topics. Why he lost his case, I'm not sure. I wasn't following it. The only thing I think I heard was that he didn't take it serious. He didn't go to court or something like that. So that's why he lost the case. Because if he would have been in court, he could have easily, told the judge, listen, look at me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to grope no woman. I don't need to rape no woman. You know what I'm saying? I am, you know what I'm saying, a rich, handsome young man. You know what I'm saying? I could get any woman I want, and woman or, screaming at me. I do shows and concerts, and there's plenty of women after me, or what have you. But even with that, guys get caught up. You know what I'm saying? Like R. Kelly with the young girls and all of that stuff like that. You got plenty of women in the concert that's old enough, you know what I'm saying, to be responsible for their actions and for, consensual sex. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I always do, let me go to my notes so I could, so I don't leave anything out on the topics that I want to touch on. Okay? So, the Game lost the lawsuit to this Priscilla Rainey that was on his show. So the Game loses his record label and his final album profits, Born to Rap, to the sexual assault accuser, Priscilla Rainey. I think the judgment that she got was a $7 million judgment. So that's a lot of money. So she wanted 7 million, like millions, for something that some women would die for, to have a chance to be with Game. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't look at that show, and I'm not sure what happened on that show, what was going on that show, or I'm not saying that he's not guilty of being touchy-feely and thinking that he could do what he wants, because sometimes you get money or you get fame or you get a level of success, or you getting a certain amount of money, you get arrogant and you think that you could do what you want. And with these women that he had on there, it's like he might have had some regular hood chicks, or I don't know, he might have had some working people, but this particular chick that he had on there was like I said, a realtor. When I looked her name up, when I looked the case up, and it sound like a come up, you know what I'm saying? But who knew she would get a 7 million judgment? I don't even think that she would think that, you know what I'm saying? So his royalties have to go to her, which he said he's not giving up. He's not paying that judgment. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't agree with it. But the thing is that you were supposed to be on top of it, fighting it from Jump Street. You know what I'm saying? So how did this all happen? It's either he didn't show up in court, because it seemed minor. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem... Well, the Me Too movement is going on now, so maybe it collided with that. Her accusations collided with that. And I'm not saying that he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that why would you go on a show with women that's trying to get with this particular person, with this man, this rapper, and I guess he was, I didn't see the show, so I'm not sure. Maybe he was supposed to choose one of the women, or whatever the situation is. Why would you go on there if you didn't want to be with him, if you didn't want him to touch you? If I was going on a show where we all trying to impress this man, and I was trying to be chosen, you understand what I'm saying? He would have to be somebody that I didn't mind mingling with and getting touchy-feely with. You understand what I'm saying? Because basically, I guess that's the goal. And that probably was some of the women's goals. You know what I'm saying? But whatever happened with her, he must have touched her and let her go, and wasn't paying no more attention to her, or wasn't making no serious relationship out of it, or maybe wasn't being in personal communication with her. She said she wasn't feeling it. He touched her and she just felt grossed out. You know what I'm saying? So it upset her, so she felt like she should take it to court. So the show, I think that Game, I think that's the worst thing that probably happened in his, celebrity career, is that show. And I know he wish he probably never did that show, now that she won that 7 million. And I think the show name was She Got Game. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the name of the show. So if that's the name of the show, Priscilla Rainey is her name. She did get game. She didn't get the man himself, but she got his money. You know what I'm saying? Money that should go to his kids. You understand what I'm saying? Like, If my I looked up, his net worth was like 22 million. So that doesn't mean that he has all 22 million in cash in his bank account. Maybe that's his houses, his cars, and everything that he owned or whatever the situation is, all tally up to 22 million. You understand what I'm saying? So if he has to give this female 7 million, that would be taken away from, that's money that could go to his kids. You understand what I'm saying? His beautiful kids. Cashmere. 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 My baby wanted to be in the video. So now that we're talking about kids, the money could go to his kids. You see our beautiful kids? The money could go to his daughter. If I was worth multi-millions, I wouldn't want to get sued. You understand what I'm saying? And have to give the money to a stranger. I would want the money to go to my kids. You understand what I'm saying? Or, my significant other or what have you. I would want to be able to dish out my money the way I want to dish out my money. So the courts, out of his money, is dishing out 7 million to this stranger. Like, she just came onto the show and now he's indebted to her for 7 million. Out of all of the rapping that he did, all of the music and records and, writing verses and hooks and, Game was a very good rapper. Like, that money should be left to his kids. All right. I'm finished with you. Say bye.
Bye.
Okay. So, she wanted to be in one of my videos. So I told her when I get to the point where I'm talking about the kids, I will let her be in my video. So, yeah. I can't believe this. I really can't believe this. So, let's see what else I got in my account. She got game. And she sure did get game. The name of the show was supposed to be She Got Game. I don't watch TV, so I didn't catch it. So they say she's from Florida. She's a realtor, an entrepreneur. So I would say, just knowing that, she didn't come on there just as like some hood rap floozy. She was like an educated person that is trying to be successful in business. She might have already been successful in selling houses or leases and apartment rentals or whatever the situation is. She probably already had some money flowing, But being in the millions, I'm not sure about that. You know what I'm saying? Because she went on the show. So she had time for the show. So I don't think she was worth millions at that point. Because if she was worth millions at that point, I don't think that she would have been on the show. So my thing is, what woman would come on a show for Game, trying to, compete for his attention or trying to see if they could get with him or whatever the situation is. What woman would come on that show that didn't want to get next to him? You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't go on the show if I didn't want to get next to Game. Why would I go on his show? Like Flavor Flav had his show. But I'm not sure about the women. It seemed like all of the women that Flavor Flav had might have been like strippers and hood rat chicks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't like too educated or anything like that to be thinking about suing him for touching. And he was doing a lot of under the cover. He was right there on a show like under blankets and stuff with the girls and stuff, looking like they was right there on TV having sex, or he was touching and feeling and stuff like that. And he didn't get that problem. Of all people, like Game, Game got a problem out of women when Flavor Flav didn't even get that kind of a problem out of his women. So ain't that crazy? You know what I'm saying? A guy that can get almost any woman that he want. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if I was going to give $7 million of my dollars to my earnings, my hard-earned earnings, writing songs, producing music and writing hooks and verses and collaborating and all the stuff that he was doing. I guess, I'm not sure, I guess he may have been in movies and did some stuff, television or whatever the situation is. My earnings going to go to a stranger. Basically, she's a stranger to me for touching. Like for a guy that can touch, there's women that'll line up for miles, for Game to touch them any way he want to. But that doesn't make it right, and that doesn't make it the law. And like I said, the YouTube movement was out. They got Cosby and Weinstein and others and stuff like that. So I guess it was just all bad timing, and maybe he just didn't go to court to fight the case. He didn't think it was serious. I don't think that, like, if it wasn't a straight up rape situation, I guess maybe he felt like he didn't have to go to court. But I think after the judgment came down, he jumped up and was like, I better get in here and appeal. But I think he lost his appeal, because probably the judge was probably fed up that, you didn't initially take this situation serious, like, don't come in my court in front of me. And we was handling a situation, a case about you, and I'm looking for you to fight your position or argue your position, and you think shit is sweet. You know what I'm saying? So now on appeal, I'm not going to have no sympathy for you because, you was on your high horse. You thought it was okay to skip court and let this woman come in court and make a whole bunch of accusations against you and not take it serious and think that you're going to, okay, if the judge give her anything, I'll jump up later and I'll get my high-powered attorney later to fight this girl. How did she come and be able to win a case where she probably applied to be on the show? You know what I'm saying? She probably auditioned or applied or did so much stuff to, be in Game's presence, is what I'm saying. And not saying that I'm on the guy's side because, I've had my bouts with being molested as a child and all of that stuff myself too. And that's no secret. So I don't care for that. I'm not even straight. I'm gay, so I'm not, into any men or anything like that. I'm just saying that if it was a show to come meet this celebrity and try to impress him and try to get with him or whatever the situation is, then you had to be about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you come on that show if you didn't want him to touch you at all? You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that somebody should, like Donald Trump said, grab him in the pussies, that doesn't mean he's supposed to be violated. So if he was cocky like that and did that or whatever, and it didn't, I'm not even sure this situation led to sex. And she got $7 million, and he didn't even really get no, it really wasn't a full-on sex. I think this was like a groping or a touching. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he finger popped that. I'm not sure what the whole situation was. So now I say he get money that should go to his kid. She get his money that should go to his kids. or the kids' mothers that birthed those kids, you know what I'm saying, that raised his kids, you know. So I think he appealed the case and he lost, and I think now he's suing Viacom for 20 million. So I say good luck to that, because Game, you're gonna need it. He's gonna need that money. Hopefully he win that money for Viacom, and Viacom could give that girl a 7 million, and he'll come off with what, 13, extra 13. So hopefully he can get some money from Viacom, and even if he don't get the whole 20 million, hopefully he could get enough just to pay that girl off, and it'll come out of their money instead of his money, because he's saying he ain't paying that money. I mean, like, he might have that stuff in luxury properties or cars or something like that, but straight up cash, I'm not really sure what kind of straight up cash he got, you know what I'm saying? But maybe he don't have it because they probably would have took it out of his bank account. So they trying to, you know, collect from his royalties, his record money. I don't know how long that would take for that money to come in, but this is not looking like a good situation. And the fact that his career was slowing down, you know what I'm saying? It's not like this is the height of his rap career. And not to say that he's not a skillful rapper, because he very much is a skillful rapper, but this is, you know, you got a lot of young folks coming up now. You know, it's kind of like his time has like faded back or whatever the situation is. Not that he can't drop some hits. I would advise that he try to drop some hit records or whatever the situation is, and work real hard on boasting his, instead of falling back, I would say boast your career up more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, get a second wind, and, you know, drop a hit record. You understand what I'm saying? If you know how to drop them shits, you know, get your best producers and stuff like that, and drop a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, if you could keep hitting them, because your lyrical ability is very good. Like, a lot of people have lyrical ability, and they could rap their ass off, and they could just keep rapping and rapping like Papoose, but then, you know, they don't really make like hit songs all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would advise Game to get back on his game. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, don't let this like slow you down from progressing in life and being successful in life. You understand what I'm saying? Because you might be worth 22 million or 20 million or whatever they got over on your net worth on Google when I Googled it. But, you know, you're a good looking guy, you're still a young guy, and you have the potential to even do more. You know what I'm saying? You could write a movie or whatever about your life. You know what I'm saying? Get into making movies or whatever the situation is. You know what I'm saying? You know, drop some club bangers. You understand what I'm saying? Make that money come in or whatever the situation is. And if they take your money from you and you win your case from Viacom, and then you'll recoup that way. But I wouldn't advise you to fade to black and lose your celebrity, your fame. I wouldn't advise you to do that. I would advise you to come and be more forward. You understand what I'm saying? Because $7 million sounds like a lot of money, but, you know, $1 billion, you know what I'm saying, is way more than that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, reach for the stars. You know what I'm saying, Game? So y'all like and subscribe. I don't want this video to go much longer. Y'all be safe, keep your mouth covered, keep your distance, and try to stay away from the hospitals. Don't catch that coronavirus. subscribe, okay? Peace, y'all.